So how did you end up on Radio City?
I,
Did you go
now I
straight
left
or?
radio. This is a story. I left that Capital FM. Then a year later or 2 years later, I don't remember how long it was, Hakim reaches out to me again. Bless Hakim. He reaches out to me again. And this time it's for KIU University. They had a station. It was KIU FM.
Okay.
So he wanted me and him to help them mold it, to set it up. Like, you know, we start running it, like we go on air, we help them start it up. And but he wasn't on air. He really did more of the setting up and what the show should be like and all that.
Okay.
Then me, I ended up creating my own show. It was called Rock and Soul.
Okay.
Because I like soft rock and I like soul music, so I did a rock and soul show and I used to talk about. So I did that, and then during the week, so I ended up working there, KIU FM. I can't remember the years, and from there, that's when Hot 100 also came. Like Hot 100 was there then, so it was KIU FM or 100. Then Radio City came later when I was now just doing African Woman. I got to a point in my life where I said, I need to
focus.
I need to let some things go.
Yeah.
And that's the time I had to leave Obsessions.
Okay.
Because I'd been thinking about it over and over. I had now started acting in film. Last King of Scotland, 2006, came. And it was from Obsessions, because we were in theatre. They came and told us to audition. So we went and auditioned. Because even Sharon was in that movie, Helen was in it, you know, appearing in different small parts. And I got that role as well. So that opened doors to film for me.
Yes.
So that time I was getting offers to do film, but I couldn't because of being in Obsession.
Yes.
And I had to think about my life. I'm like, what do I want to do? It's not fair to these guys. All the time I'm away. Sometimes I'm away, and then, you know, it's like, and now we were just 5 girls because the guys had left. Everybody had broken away. You know, growth. Yeah.
Yeah.
People break away to do different things to grow themselves. So. Yeah. Now it was my turn.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I have to go. And I remember Ronnie and Remy, you know, they're all like, even the girls are like, what, you're going to leave us now? You know, we're just getting, you know, things together. And I'm like, I'm leaving, but it's at a high point. Like everything was fine. Wekume had come out, Jangu, like everything was good. So me, I was thinking I should leave when it's on the high, because they're going to continue rising.
Yeah.
Then I left. They did a party for me. Oh, it was sweet. Like, it was so sweet. They did a party for me. Then, you know, it was at that time I was in African Woman magazine. I was at WBS TV, and I think I was still at Capital. Yeah.
Okay.
But I was about to leave Capital. That's the time I left Obsessions and I left Capital. I stayed with African Woman and WBS TV.
Okay. Okay.
And then now I could do Changes, the series that's in Kenya.
And you've done so many series, actually, if you think about it.
So that's when I decided to shed off all that. But after talking to my group, it was really hard leaving Obsessions.
Yes.
Really hard. And that's the time when, like, Shiba used to train with us. They were always Stingers was a nice group. We always used to incorporate other groups to work with us. Eclipse dancers, Stingers. There was VIP. There were so many by then. We used to work with them because production time we needed more people on stage, because some of the main people would be acting. So we used to do that. Yeah. And even PAM Awards, the Palo Africa Music Awards that used to be so popular, we'd incorporate other dancers because we couldn't dance everything.
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
So that's how Shiba was with us. And when I was about to leave, I remember Ronnie, you know, they were asking, so who do you think will, you know, we need 5 girls. And I was like, I think Shiba can do it, but I think they also had Shiba in mind. Okay. So they reached out to her, and that's how also the transitioning happened. I left, Shiba joined, so that they could balance the. But now, before, I think Shiba joined, and then Brenda and Helen left. So now Obsession started having their own life, and my life was also moving on this side, and my heart was breaking for them, because I was wondering, okay, like I think everybody's growing. But change happens.
Can I ask you something? I remember back then, and I don't know if anyone ever asked you this or told you this.
Yeah.
You know, people would look at Obsessions, and I guess like a lot of girl groups, even if you look at the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
And people used to say you are the nice one.
I
remember people used to say, oh, she's the nice one.
Why?
Did you ever hear that?
Yes, I heard it, but I just never knew why they would say I'm the nice one. And there's a time I used to be angry, Like, I'm thinking, why do they keep, people think I'm nice, nice, nice. Like, it's,
I remember I used to hear that all the time. Oh, she's a nice one.
I think because I would smile to people.
But you're always smiling.
I would, like, someone would join, I would always want to make, with my background, how I grew up, trying to fit in, trying to think of other people before myself. I always had that, even in obsessions. If a new person would come, I would try to make them feel comfortable, because, you know, people come when they're like, it's hard. When guys are already like, you know, strong, they're the obsessions, like, there's this thing that people used to have for us. So when they would come to us, they're intimidated. And I always wanted to make someone feel comfortable, like, hey, you're one of us. You know, you're rehearsing with us. Yeah. Are you okay? Do you? So I always just used to do that, and I think it used to spread around. Like, she's the nice one, and I guess that's how I got the tag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering, like, did
But I
anyone ever
think
tell you about that?
Yeah, I heard it. I heard.
And then earlier in the interview was saying, you know, you've always been the kind of person who tries to help, but you've had to learn how to balance, because as someone who's quite similar, and being tagged the nice one all the time, people do take advantage of
We
you.
have our. We are nice, but we are not always nice. And now I'm like, yeah, I can be a bitch.
Okay.
No, man. Yeah, you grow and learn. So yeah, you're asking me.
Okay. All right. So you know, and you know where it comes from. Okay. So you decided to focus on African Woman magazine. I guess then your writing skills even improved more.
Yeah.
And then you could take on more acting roles.
Yeah.
Did you start to see, like, acting now, this is really, really where I want to go? That was your focus then? Because, I mean, you were still, of course, working.
Yeah, I was.
Because acting as a career definitely needs a lot of flexibility,
Yeah.
being able to travel. It demands quite a lot.
Now, when I got the role for Changes, the series, I was with African Woman and WBS.
Okay.
So I had 2 jobs to ask. I had to go and
Where
ask
were you
for leave.
shooting?
In Kenya.
Okay.
And that time I was, in fact, the person who encouraged me to go for the audition was Brenda Nanyonjo, because they told me about it. They told me about the audition, and I told Brenda, and I'm like, but how am I going to manage? Because now I have to work here, then I have the show at WBS. She's like, Cleo, just go do the audition, and then you see after that. Like, just try, instead of not doing it, and then later on you're like, oh, I should have done it. And she's like, you're a good actress and you love acting. Go try the audition. So I ended up going for the audition, and when I got it, I was so excited, because you know, you do the audition, you don't get it immediately. They call you like 2 months later. But it was a role that was meant for a Ugandan. Like I was acting as half Ugandan, half Kenyan. No, in Changes I was Ugandan, because my sister married a Kenyan. So she was So I was acting as a Ugandan. So now I get the role, and I asked for leave at WBS. Good enough, they gave it to me. So we shot stuff. That's a good thing with recorded shows, because I was doing Fitness Watch. So I had to shoot a lot of episodes to cover the time I would be away. Then at African Woman magazine, because we used to work ahead, I think I left like 2 issues already in print, and then again they could send me stuff, like I could still be able to write on the other side. So they used this advantage of, you're going to be in Kenya, interview some people, we will set it up in a way that Andre will come and we do a photo shoot in Kenya. So now I became, it worked in my favor and in the favor of the magazine. So we kind of now started getting into the Kenyan market. And then the magazine, good enough, was, you know, East African. So, and they were planning to expand. Yeah, so we ended up, it worked out. It worked out, and I was able to shoot. And that's when I started focusing more. I was like, I need to do the acting a lot more. And I came back here and I got into Yogera with Donald Mugisha. which is now out, by the way.
I've seen that.
After 9 years.
What? How come it was never released?
It was never released. Like we shot it, then we did a premiere, but
Because that's with Bobby Wine and
Bobby
Butcherman.
Wine, Butcherman, Helen Lukoma, myself, Rehema Namfuka, and it had a good cast. So the reason why is because I think Donald Mugisha, he was one of those people that was already really exposed with film. Like he's really good, and he was working in collaboration with a South African filmmaker. And I think they had this vision of the market here is not ready. Like they tried to sell. You know, when I asked him recently, when finally he was telling me it's now available, I got to get it on mobiflix.com.
Wow.
I asked him, but now, like, hey, I'd given up on that
After
movie.
all this time.
Because I acted as a deaf mute. It was a role that took a lot from me.
Yeah, because you acted the two parts,
Yeah,
two sisters.
Yeah, two sisters, and one was deaf. And I remember I even learned sign language that time, and I had to be quiet. He's a method. It was more of method acting. I can do I don't call myself a method actor, or I can do any kind of acting, because I've learned there's a technique called the Meisner technique, which is more about making it believable and meaningful to you so that it relates to the person watching you. So he had that method of, he tells you beginning, middle, end. There's no script. You know what is going to happen in this scene and you act it out.
Okay.
You know what you want, you know what it was really a growth for me, because I learned a lot on that set. So it's coming out now, and he said that time there was really no one who was, it wasn't right to sell it then, because if you put it out on DVD, you don't make profit.
Yeah.
If you put it to the festivals, it will become watered down because it will be everywhere. And so he just held on to it. Even most of his movies, Divisions,
they were ahead of his time.
Border Thieves. I happened to watch Border Thieves on an airline, like when I was flying, and I'm like, this movie is somewhere, you know. So he's that kind of person, very careful and very with which market he sells his movies to, because he says the people have to end up making money from it.
Yes.
So now it's on mobiflix.com. And people, I'm happy that people can now watch it. I'm just excited. So I did Yogera in 2010, then the State Research Bureau with Matt Bish. So the movies started growing more and more. Then I got into Kona, the Mnet series as well in Kenya. For some time I had more Kenyan productions, because there was Be the Judge, a KTN series that landed me a nomination in the Kalasha Film and TV Awards in Kenya. So now I was beginning to be more recognized in Kenya as well. You know, that was even my first nomination in any film besides the music Obsessions. But as Cleopatra in film, that was my first nomination. So I had more Kenyan productions than Ugandan.
There was something there. I think that's how we even ended up with Aviana's daddy.
We ended up with Aviana's daddy. He's Kenyan and kept calling me. And back in the day, I used to be like, no, I won't be with a Kenyan, because I used to find them too rude, too rough. The guys used to tell me I'm too fast, I'm too, like, I'm rushing. Where are you going? The way I walk, the way I'm like, I don't know. It's just how I am. So I managed to blend into Kenya.
Okay.
And they're amazing, actually. So, and then I met Lwanda, Jawar, Aviana's dad.
How did you meet?
On Kona.
Okay.
We met on the set of Kona.
He's also an actor.
He's an actor. He's a stunts director. He's good with stunts. He did his own stunts in Sense8, the Netflix series.
Yeah.
So we met on Kona. I had never dated where I work. Like, it used to be that kind of rule for me.
Yes.
There's always that one person that makes you just break all your principles, I think, right? He came into my life and boop, that went down the drain of never date where you work. Yeah.
You've just had a moment. She just had a moment. We need to know, what was that moment? What was it about him?
We just connected, and we were introduced, like we were on the set together, but he's one of the first people I met on set. I knew some people, but I mainly knew the producer of the show.
Okay.
She was the one that I had worked with before on Changes, and and when we were introduced, like there was something like he was cool, I was cool. I don't remember the first impression I had of him because I can't remember that moment. It wasn't like I see him and I'm like,
Was
oh,
it
wow.
love at first sight?
No, it was more like I see him again because I see him so, and then we were friends. Then, the first time he held my hand, I don't even know how. You know how they say, okay, let him take you to show you around, and he reaches out for my hand, and I give him my hand, and they locked. But there was just something of, why am I so trusting? Like why? Well, it just felt
Like you probably wouldn't do that with someone else.
no, and even him reaching out, it was just like something that was. I can't explain it. There was a connection that was just so natural, and we had a scene because in the series he was I think he was my cousin in the series. Can't remember our relationship. I was like a cousin or like so it was like a big, like I used to look up to him because like the coolest boxer and I want to be a boxer. So we had this scene where he talks to me and gives me, and then I hug him. It was just like this sweet innocent hug. But he never forgot that hug, and never, even the camera, like they shot it like, oh, it's so real, it's so nice. Like it was like a one take. So it was just that, effortless. And we connected from then. Like we would talk about life, we'd talk about a lot. It hasn't been roses, but
Of course. I mean, this is also a long distance relationship.
yeah, it's been a couple of thorns. Even us, being together. It was the first time in my life that I ever got some hostility from people.
Oh.
And it wasn't like people, it was just a few people,
Because you were
a
dating?
few women. Yeah, because we were dating, but it was just this whole thing of, I think there was some, like, when you're dating someone but not everyone knows, but the rumor is there, I think so. And then some people probably up to now I keep looking back and I'm like, what was going on? Like, I don't know what was going on. And then I know Swahili because I learned it in Tanzania. So, you're like in the room and people are talking, they're talking about you. And they think you don't know Swahili and it hurts. And I would tell him, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Are you seeing anyone else? Like, no. I'm like, so there's this whole thing of I'm taking somebody. Like, I don't know what's going on. But it was just because someone liked him. And it was a whole, so his aunt ended up having to put his foot down and say, this is the person I like.
Okay. Has he been there for you the whole time?
Yeah. He comes here a lot and I travel a lot.
Okay.
But now this holiday, it's me who, this last year he was here much more. And that's how he actually got into, because he met some of my friends, Ali Alibi, Sylvia, and Brenda, and then Brenda has known him. Brenda Nanyonjo is like a big sister to me. She's known him ever since we started dating.
Okay.
He's been to Mr. World. He was Mr. Kenya from 2010. I got to know that later. Before I didn't date him because he was Mr. Kenya.
No, because he held your hand and something sparked.
Something sparked. So Lwanda was Mr. Kenya from 2010 till 2014. Like they didn't do a Mr. Kenya until 2014. Then now there's another Mr. Kenya.
Yeah.
So with that history, they wanted him to mentor. So that's how he got into Miss Uganda, and he became one of the official judges.
Okay.
Because of his background. Yeah.
So can
it's been working for us.
So can I ask, are you serious?
I'm
looking at the ring. Is that?
Look at her covering it. This is just a ring. This is just a ring. Well, I don't even think that when he puts like an engagement ring, a big rock or whatever, I'll be like, oh, I'm very private with my life, my love life.
Okay.
I don't mind showing off Eviana once in a while because she's just amazing. But
Are you protective?
I'm protective, yeah. So once in a while I'll show them off, but I'm not going to go all out. Oh, today he did this for me. Oh, today I don't even post stuff to do with Valentine's, like to say, I'll put a message for the people.
Yeah.
It's more about the people on my pages,
Than
like
your own personal
than just
life.
me, really, all the time. And the world has become too harsh in a way that if you show too
put
much of
yourself out
yourself,
there, they come for you.
yeah. So I'm very careful with what I share.
Okay.
But yeah, we're serious. It's been 6 years now. This is the 7th year. Our anniversary.
That's a long time.
He officially asked me out on Valentine's Day.
Oh, cute.
He's a romantic of sorts. He tries not to show it, but he is.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I'll say like I think we're serious.
They are serious.
Serious.
Well, best of luck to you. I
Yeah.
understand in the world today you do have to protect the people and the things that are important to you. So if you're private about it, that's your thing. And if other people want to splash their love, well, that's okay too,
Yeah,
right?
it's okay. Yeah, you do what suits you. You do what works for you. Yeah.
Well, we're out of time. Thank you so much for sharing. So impressed with all the things you've been able to do.
Yeah.
And what's the one thing that you have learned as someone who's juggled all these different things and who's growing in, especially in the film industry? What is the one thing you have learned about, I don't know, like how to get ahead, how to be successful, how to not fall off?
Be you. Be yourself. I've learned to, and I think it has helped me over the years, that I never really try to compromise who I am. And I always believed if something is meant for me, it will be. So I never try, I don't like to backstab people. I don't like to try to shove someone out of the way so I can get into their spot, or I prefer to create space for other people. I love to train other people, and I believe that in that way God looks out for me. Like when you bless someone else, you get blessings in your own life. And life is not easy. It can be really rough. We've not talked a lot about things, but yeah. So you just have to really be strong-headed, be professional, be respectful. You know, it doesn't matter if your boss is very cool with you, that you should always have that limit in your mind of I can't go beyond here, I can't speak to my boss this way, or I can't speak to, because draw those lines. So be respectful, and
Don't burn bridges.
don't burn bridges. Keep the connection with people, and I love working with different people, and I don't like to hurt people deliberately. So when I do and I find out, I always try to make it right. And some things might not be able to be fixed, but yeah, that's just do you, and you don't have to impress people. Me, I don't mind using a border, using a taxi. You just live. No, I try to be normal with my life. Yeah,
Okay.
it's my life.
Yes, it's your life.
Yeah, so
You're not living it for other people.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was nice being on Crystal
It was
One-on-One.
nice having you.
Yeah.
Best of luck with your big plans, because I know they're big plans.
Thank you. Oh my God, this year is looking up. So yeah,
Yeah?
Godspeed.
We'll be watching.